My name is Dana Maksimovich Vashkevich. That's my maiden name and my married name. I was born in Miami Beach, Florida, and I am second generation American-born, Ukrainian descent, American-born. My grandfather, Nicholas Maksimovich, had to move down. His doctor said, you have to move where it's warm. And he was living in New York at the time. They came in through Ellis Island, and he had osteomyelitis, so he had to come to a warm climate. And at that time, the South was the playground, and so people would come down, and everybody knew that he had property, and they'd come down, let's go to Maksimovich's, and we'll stay there, and they would rent rooms out. And more people started coming, and in 1946, a bunch of them got together, and they formed the Ukrainian American Club of Miami. So when my dad came back from his Navy assignment, he started back at the University of Miami, and more of the young people started coming down. And so every time they'd come down, my grandfather would say, go do a dance somewhere. So the first performance was in 1946, the summer of 1946, at the youth festival, the YWCA Youth Festival. And that was when we considered the birth of the Ukrainian Dancers of Miami. So everybody that dances in our group that performs is of Ukrainian descent. Some are from Ukraine, born in Ukraine and have moved here. We have 4 generations. And most of the reason parents bring their kids is to keep the culture going. And so there's something about the Ukrainian spirit. The war tells you the kind of the soul of the Ukrainian people, that they want to continue the heritage. And so this is the main way that parents keep the heritage going, is their exposure to the Ukrainian culture. You know, it's funny, when we were growing up, a lot of my friends would go to the movies on Fridays and go other places on Saturdays. Well, for us, it was Ukrainian dancing on Friday nights, it was Ukrainian school on Saturday mornings, and then it was church on Sunday. And so the whole weekend was Ukrainian, and we eat Ukrainian food all year. We all consider ourselves hyphenated Americans, Ukrainian American, and when someone asks me what I am, I say I'm Ukrainian American. That's how integral our culture is. The Ukrainian culture encompasses so much, from everything, the way I think it even goes to the way I think. I know how hard it was. My grandfather escaped from Polish prison. He was fighting for the Ukrainian army. And he was fiercely patriotic to Ukraine and a nationalist, but he was fiercely proud, of the country he came to that gave him the freedom to be his Ukrainian self. Some of the dances that we do came from who we consider the pioneer of Ukrainian dance, Vasyl Avramenko. He brought Ukrainian dance from Ukraine and went around the United States and Canada teaching groups. Today, a lot of the groups that are bigger up in the Northeast, they incorporate a lot more ballet. Our group has stayed with more the traditional folk. We try to keep the steps, even if we have new dances, they're all the basic steps. We also do some dances that others have choreographed. We've had choreographies from up in New York, from Roma Prima Bohachowski, from Walter Bakad, from different people that started groups. To be able to dance and sing is like breathing. It is something that I know as I get older, the dancing is going to get more difficult, the singing is going to get more difficult. But I'm going to do it until I'm in a walker or in a wheelchair. That's how much we feel. When Ukrainians dance, we dance from our soul, and if we've done a good job, it is seen in the audience in the way that they react. It doesn't have to be the perfect jumps, the perfect steps, but the spirit is what you want to do. And so when you watch a dance, you may not remember this person didn't do that right, or she wasn't smiling, or she didn't have her hand in the correct position. You'll remember the feeling of the dance, and that is what we try to do here. I value the fact that people want to learn about my culture, my background. I value and I appreciate that people want to see it and they have questions, and they a lot of times can say, we do something very similar. Because it's really true, when you go into deep ethnic cultures and traditions, many of them are very the same. It might be different embroidery on the blouses. It might be a little bit different way we make a dumpling. You know, you've got wontons, you've got empanadas, you've got pierogies. But everybody has kind of the same thing. And it just, to be able to be who you are and have the person next to you say, I love it, is the most precious gift.